If I start telling people about hell, I might just scare them off. Where are you going to scare them off to? Hell number 2? Or are you just going to sit there and let them burn?
Wow, that's a whole lot of information that we were going through there, and talking about the green gospel and the effects that it has, and how countries around the world are falling for this. I pulled up the information that they were checking CO2 emissions around the world, and the biggest country with CO2 emissions is China, and secondly is the United States. In metric tons, they have come up with 8,715.31 metric tons. And of course, China is going to have the most because the most people live in China. And like Sheila was saying, that this is a part of human existence, not only human, but every single living being on the face of the earth. And if you think that these people are just about having a greener environment or just want to recycle and save us from global warming, you have something coming. It's a lot more damning than that. It's insane to think that this is what's being taught to our children. And not only the kids, but adults have taken this up and they're running with it. Utter nonsense. Go ahead, Sheila.
Well, what they'd like to do, and you talk about China, they just adopted a one-child policy. So that's a big part of this, too. And you got to remember the Rockefeller-financed research that ties into, of course, Tickle, Alt-Sir Casper Tickle. I mentioned all this cast of characters in my book, from David Rockefeller to Kissinger to Maurice Strong. They actually drafted in the 70s, and it's called NSSM 200. People can look that up. And it's really talks about worldwide population growth and why they should really implement. In fact, Henry Kissinger himself wrote that depopulation, not Sheila saying it, he actually wrote this, and you can find it online. Depopulation should be the highest priority of the United States foreign policy. Now, the Rockefeller Foundation, let's not forget, helped found the German eugenics programs, the program that Joseph Mengele worked in before he went to Auschwitz. And so with that whole cast of characters, in 1961, Sir Julian Huxley, remember Thomas Huxley, Aldous Huxley, I'm sure people are familiar with. In fact, you guys were just on my show. It's airing tomorrow. We talk about how that ties in with all these, the Ubermensch, the Supermen, how these guys, all this eugenics and the super soldier programs, everything ties into, again, this whole eugenics society of Great Britain's involved. Aldous Huxley, Julian Huxley, in collaboration with, straight from the pit of hell, Britain's royal family, Prince Philip, Queen Beatrix of the Netherlands. They actually, get this, Prince Philip founded the World Wildlife Fund, and he was actually a good old, what's his name there, Prince Bernard of the Netherlands, a good old card-carrying Nazi that he was. He actually formed Royal Dutch Shell, and he became the chairman of Shell Oil. So you've got, British Royal Consort, Prince Philip, and actually he's the one that always says, he loves the thought of, if he ever comes back he actually says, the quote is, he said on national TV, and he actually said this on several programs, people can look this up, he said, if I was ever reincarnated I'd like to come back as a deadly virus to deal with the population problem. And then you've got this idiot Ted Turner, and people can look this up. Type this in a word search in YouTube, cannibalism and global warming. And this is what Ted Turner says in this little clip. He's on the Charlie Rose show, and he says, we got to deal with those two major things that are going on. He goes, what's going on? He goes, global warming and population. And Charlie Rose goes, what's wrong with the population? Ted Turner says, we got too many people. We got too much people using too much stuff, and it's going to cause cannibalism. I mean, it is so ridiculous what these hucksters come up with, all these, again, all these predictions, wild predictions that, the sea levels are rising, the polar bears are drowning. Good Lord, it's just total cataclysmic end of the, Chicken Little, the sky is falling. And what greater thing is to present us with something. But you know what? Here's the deal. It's not just about saving the planet, because you couldn't save the planet if you wanted to. the planet is under God's benevolent design. So it's so ridiculous.
Amen.
Yeah.
I agree with you totally.
If you like our videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get all our frequent updates.